Z, and it's an absolute pleasure to be on this other episode, on this, another episode with you again this morning. And if you are watching live, give me some likes, give me some hearts, because as you know, energy exchange is what we're all about on Tea with Z, because what a better way to get pumped up for an epic day in the morning by starting off with high energy as well. So some likes, some hearts if you are watching live. But if you are watching a replay as well, definitely do the same, because, at the end of the day, the little 2 seconds to click a button is still some energy as well. But if you are watching as well, live, replay, whatever it might be, drop a comment in the comment section below and let me know what your takeaways are from each of these episodes. And it's been great to seeing some chats happening recently, and a special shout out to those that have been interacting, because it's absolutely awesome to be reading your comments and seeing what your takeaway is from this. Also, a special shout out to the Limitless Network, those that have joined us exclusively from the Limitless Network. Welcome as well. More on the Limitless Network later on. Now, yesterday, if you missed it, was International Day of the Girl, and if you missed that, there was some media about it, but not as much as I would have thought. I guess something that what I've noticed is, compared to other sort of national or international events around the globe that are celebrated, not so much attention was brought to this from what I could tell. And the reason why I'm bringing this about today was to really, I guess, reflect on what the event was yesterday, but then to really re-highlight it today, because I really wanted to see what this was about, because I'm going to be honest, I didn't actually know that this day existed until we actually had a girl. And as you know, we've got an amazing daughter. She's around 8 months old now, and she's changing each and every day. And what it's really made me realize, and obviously having an amazing family around me with Natasha, and now Syra, what I guess the presence and the influence that females have in my life. And what it led me to do was actually look up a little bit more information about this. And I knew that this was on the radar coming up, International Day of the Girl, weeks and weeks ago. And just to sort and wait and see, well, what presence does it have in Australia? We talk a lot about female empowerment within our societies, but particularly also within our workplaces. We talk a lot about the gender disparity and the gender divide amongst employment opportunities, pay opportunities, remuneration, even growth and job progression opportunities as well. And one thing that it's really started to make me attune with is that within the health industry, and particularly in the pharmacy industry, is that our industry is largely driven by females. A lot of my mother, Anita. Anita is a pharmacist as well, and has owned a pharmacy for a long, long time, until recently, exited out of that business and is enjoying, I guess, more and more time with the grandkids. But what that taught me, I guess, along that entrepreneurial journey, running and owning our own pharmacy, was the role that females play within our own healthcare space. You look at the industries that probably have, well, I'd be hard to find other industries that have such a significant female workforce, and yet something that we don't often look at or celebrate within our own industry. You look at the nursing teams, the large, I guess these primary caregivers, the pharmacy industries, all of these other industries within the healthcare space that are largely driven by females. And when we look at the role of health entrepreneurs, those that empower others to take charge of their health, the role of the female is so, so important. You look at that maternal instinct, and what I've seen come out and really resonate with Natasha is this maternal instinct that has come out as when we've had Sarah. And it's this natural tendency to care. And when you look at that in our own health space and empowering not only ourselves, but others along their health journey to ensure that everybody around them is healthy, is living a fulfilled life, is well, is living a life of well-being. When you look at the role of females across the health space, what I've really come to realize is that it translates so much more than just in a job. It translates into our daily lives. And the reason why this episode today is called the digital divide is because today still there is such a disparity between I guess the resources offered to girls in the digital world. And I'm going to just bring up some stats right now for you because it's actually quite surprising. When you look at the digital divide, and I'm just loading it up. So, while the pandemic has accelerated utilization of digital platforms such as this right now, we've seen schools embrace digital platforms. We're seeing, obviously revenue making activities, working from home, connecting remotely. Even though the pandemic has accelerated the utilization of digital platforms, it's actually unfortunately widened the gap between male internet users and female internet users. So in 2013, 11% was the gender gap between males using internet and digital devices, where girls being more likely to be segregated and cut off from them. This rose to 17% in 2019, and it now has grown even more as a result of the pandemic, particularly in developing countries. And when we look at the ability to connect using digital platforms, but now even to earn an income, this gap across the digital sector between genders is now even more prominent. And the reason why I bring this up, because what really resonated with me yesterday was this family friend of ours, close family friend of ours, and they have a 1-year-old daughter, and she's there learning at their local library. They've got these amazing interactive computers with big chunky keyboards and colorful keyboards. Start empowering young children to actually interact with digital systems. And they have a young girl as well. And I just thought, oh, how amazing and how blessed are we in this developed world, in countries like Australia, to have these tools and resources to empower our children with. But unfortunately, not all countries have that. And what we're starting to see now is this divide grow bigger and bigger. So my question to you is, well, how can we change this? What can we do to actually recognize and empower the girls and the roles that they play along the health entrepreneurial journey, along the journey of, I guess their own journey within life and business, and what tools and resources can we empower them with from a younger age to then have the best chances with digital literacy and digital accessibility later in life. And looking at these resources that we're now starting to see to empower younger children with these tools to, I guess, respond to digital literacy and to embrace digital literacy from a younger age. Well, how can we do that safely? How can we do that without, I guess, overwhelming them and being so fixated on, I guess, technology? You look at the likes of Steve Jobs, for example, and, preventing his children from even engaging in the products that he created. And you look at, well, where do we find this balance? And to be honest, I don't have the answer for that. It's something that is going to evolve. And as we come to, I guess, the world in which we live in and these accelerated changes and technological advancements, what does this look like? What does this look like? Because while we can all influence change in our own sectors, at the end of the day, we're governed by what the world has in store for us, what massive corporations have in store for us and the agendas that they drive. You look at the introduction of all of the technology driven advancements and the agendas of these massive multinational, multi-billion, multi-trillion dollar corporations that drive our future into how we can embrace technology, how we can ensure digital literacy, how we can ensure digital accessibility. And so that's what I really wanted to focus on today, was going, well, at the end of the day, when we have such a huge population of girls that are health entrepreneurs working to better the health of those around us, working to make our communities healthier, yet this divide still exists and is actually growing. Well, what do we now need to do to change that? Because if they are such a pivotal member of our healthcare team, if they are such a pivotal member of our healthcare system, and yet the transition to digital healthcare is increasing, then how can we ensure that we're bringing them on the journey with us as well? And this is a conversation much bigger than, me. This is policy. This is, governments. This is industry. This is, like I said before, these multi-billion, multi-trillion dollar organizations. But, at the end of the day, it's something that is so relevant right now because of the acceleration of the adoption of digital healthcare. And if we're leaving behind the people that are so pivotal to actually provide this healthcare from that conversation, from those tools and resources, from empowering them along the journey to actually utilize these tools and resources, to actually learn how to use these tools and resources, to not being cut off from using these tools and resources. This digital divide is going to grow, and the embracing of digital technologies is going to grow. And unfortunately, it's going to be these countries, these developing nations, where we're seeing over 40% prevalence of these gender divides. It's absolutely insane. It's these countries, and we're seeing it right now. We're seeing all of these developed countries, so many of them, with even things like the COVID vaccination rollouts, and the lagging states that they're in, because at the end of the day, their accessibility isn't the same as developed worlds. So how can we work together to bridge that gap? And that's my question for you today. Something just to ponder on. And I'd love to see, what your thoughts are in the comments section below, because I've got some thoughts and things like that. But at the end of the day, what I really want to do is start just maybe having this discussion, starting to open up this discussion, and maybe, throughout this week, but even later on throughout this month, we'll revisit this and explore this a little bit deeper as we go along, because it is a discussion that is definitely worth having. We talk a lot about, like I mentioned at the start, that divide between genders based on job type, remuneration, but not about digital accessibility, not for our ability to actually perform our role in this new emerging world, what this post-pandemic world will look like. And so that for me is something that hasn't even been discussed yet. And so what can we do about it before it's too late? So that's the question. And I really look forward to reading your comments and your feedback in the comment section below. But if you want to comment in a private space, jump onto the Limitless Network. If at the end of the day, this is a safe space. Let me iterate that. This is a safe space, the Limitless Network. And the details are in the comment section below, or in the description of the video, but also on the link below as well. So if you're looking for the link, it is in the description below as well. I encourage each and every one of you to join, because at the end of the day, that's what we're all about. It's a community of like-minded people that value health, and just another way to share your thoughts and ideas as well. So for yesterday, happy International Day of the Girl, but for life, power to all of you, both men and women, both women and men, because at the end of the day, or actually, whatever you identify with, or as, power to you, power to you, because at the end of the day, you all make a discernible difference in the lives of everybody around you. And now what it's about is bridging that gap, bridging that divide, to ensure that we can all come along this journey together. So that's it from me today. I really look forward to reading your comments below. But from my heart to yours, have an amazing day. Thanks for joining me. Stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to catching up with you on another episode of Tea with C tomorrow. Have an awesome day.